Servo motors are DC motors whose angles you can command and control. Let's learn how to control their angle in this short video. So you go to Tinkercad and then you search for a servo and then click and drag a servo motor. You also click and drag an Arduino just like this, right? I'm going to zoom on this a little bit to make sure it's visible better. Okay, the connections are really simple. Like any motor, you need to power it by giving it positive and negative voltage. The power is, the negative one is the ground, and the servo needs 5 volts to power it, which we can provide by Arduino, no more than 6 volts though. And if you're going to do some heavy lifting with your servo, then you need to do an external power source, which can provide more current than an Arduino can. Okay, so we have connected the power with the 5 volt of Arduino and the ground wire of the servo with the ground of Arduino. The signal to the servo comes from the signal wire, and this is where we encode the angle signal. And this wire you can connect to any of the PWM pins of the Arduino. These pins are marked with a squiggly line. This is where it would receive the angle command. PWM pins can fluctuate between high and low, i.e. between 5 volt and 0 volt. And you get to decide what fraction it remains high and what fraction it remains low. It is this fraction that contains the information about what angle to command. Now that the connections are done, let's start doing the coding in the text mode. So the first thing is servo needs a lot of code and we don't need to write all that code. There's a command include which can invoke the library servo.h, and now the code inside the servo.h is included over here. Okay, now we need to tell Arduino where the servo is actually going to receive the angle command. And the command for that is the name of your servo. And you can define the name of your servo. You can define a servo class, an instance of the servo class using this line over here. So let's say the name of my servo is Noopy. So servo.noopy will define a servo. And then I'm going to attach the servo to Arduino on pin number 3 using a command noopy.attach. And since pin number 3 is a PWM pin and it's being used as an output, I'm going to use the pin mode command to make sure that the pin number 3 is in the output modality. Sweet. Great. The servo has been attached to pin number 3. Now we just need to command the angles. And the way to command an angle is to write the name of the servo and you write the angle on. This is very similar to digital write, but it's now going to be noopy.write, name of the servo.write, and you can tell what angle to go to. So I can make it go to 180 degrees, and then I want to wait for 1 second, and then I want to go to a different angle after that just to see it moving. Let's say I want to go to 90 degrees. Then I'll wait for 1 more second, and then the loop will repeat after that. So go to 180, wait for 1 second, go to 90, wait for 1 second, and then repeat the loop all over again. And let's see how this works. Okay, servo goes to one angle, comes back to the 90 degree, and goes back and forth. And this is how you do a servo motor.